WTMA. Now, the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues on Charleston's Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.
Welcome back, Charleston, to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. And big shout out to Michael Santelli of Guaranteed Rate for being on the show just now. Always love having him on the show. Great perspective on the mortgage market. Fantastic lender. If you're looking to refinance, or of course, for those of you that are considering buying a home or selling and then buying, Michael is a very close part of our team and group of professionals that we rely on to help provide you with a fantastic experience when buying, selling, or investing in real estate. So if you'd like to reach out to him, just give me a call or text me. My number is 843-345-1273. That's 345-1273. And I'll put you in touch with Michael. Or, of course, you can go to our website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com, and learn more about myself and who we are and what we do to sell real estate. Sell a few hundred homes a year, over 1,000 homes sold here in the Charleston market. Top 1% of agents here every year for the past decade. So, again, if you'd like to reach out to us for your real estate questions or comments, or, of course, if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing, 843-345-1273, or send me an email, brian@listingsincharleston.com. That's brian@listingsincharleston.com. So I want to get into just kind of a Q&A segment on this show, because I've had a lot of folks reach out to me that have had a variety of questions, a lot of which I think make for great content on this show, because I think a lot of people have these same questions. And so the first one comes from Jerry in Mount Pleasant. And he said, my home's been on the market for several months. We've had a lot of showings, haven't had any offers. It seems like my agent has done everything they can do, but my home still isn't selling. What's your advice on this topic? And so, great topic. I think there are plenty of people that are in this boat right now. I have a client on Daniel Island. We've done multiple price reductions. It's a great deal on a very nice house, a house on Corn Planters Drive. It's a great deal. I think it's under what it should be in order for it to sell, but it still isn't selling. And so what's happening right now, Jerry, is that the market is shifting very quickly. And depending upon where your home is located and what price range it's in, is of course going to dictate how quickly that trend is shifting in that particular subsection of our overall market. So as an example, like Mount Pleasant, above the Isle of Palms connector, or north of the Isle of Palms connector, between $750 and $1 million, basically went from a seller's market to a buyer's market over the course of a year. I mean, inventory has almost doubled. Closings are down. It's taking longer to sell. More price reductions are necessary. And so when you start looking at the dynamics of the market, you have to then, of course, also, so you have to ask, am I positioned correctly? Am I priced attractively enough to get a buyer to either jump off the fence and say, hey, we should move forward on this property because if we don't, someone else will? Or have you done what's necessary to prepare your home to sell it? Did you just put the property on the market without focusing on any condition-based things? Did you not focus on the curb appeal, or did you not make repairs because you didn't think you needed to, or because your agent thought, hey, this is going to sell in 2 weeks, and it's been 3 months? Did you have those conversations in the first place? If you did you do anything about it or not? And then really the last part of the equation there is marketing. And so I want to spend a little bit of time on this, because we've had so many agents enter the market over the past several years. There's no way these new agents have the ability monetarily to provide you with the same level of marketing services that a large team like I can. I mean, my marketing expense is way up there. I mean, we're talking like the annual salary that my wife used to make when she was working that I spend in marketing per month. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm just saying that we've got a big machine that creates a lot of visibility. As a result of that, the cost is high. But do we then push that off on our clients? No, it's just a differentiating factor that allows us to offer more benefits to our clients than the standard single agent that just doesn't have access to or doesn't pay for all these tools that we pay for. But, I had, and so the reason I bring this up is I had another question that was emailed to me, and I'll just, the question essentially is, I hear you talk a lot about marketing on your show and how important it is, and I know you're not going to share everything that you do and give that away because you've mentioned a lot of real estate agents listen to this show, which they do. But what can you tell us? And so that's a great question, because marketing is something that I could honestly talk to you for hours about without skipping a beat. It's one of the things that I'm really passionate about. It's one of the things that our team does incredibly well. And I'm going to give a shout out to Sam O'Neill, my marketing manager, for doing an awesome job of creating this spider web effect for our listings and for our content to reach an incredible amount of people in a very specific and targeted way. And so, of course, when we take on a seller client and we're looking at their home, we're walking through it, before we start broadcasting this house to the world, we want to make sure we're very clear on what it is we're broadcasting to them. What is our messaging? What is our product? And so that first, of course, starts with the free pre-listing home inspection and the staging consultation that we offer. We just want to make sure that the property is being shown as attractively as possible. And, I understand that not everybody has the ability monetarily to fix up their house before they sell it. A lot of what we do, frankly, just involves sweat equity, rolling up your sleeves and rearranging some furniture, decluttering some spaces, maybe buying some fresh plants, maybe doing some painting on your own. And most people have the time to do those things, to prepare their home, to sell it, and get the most money for their home possible. Not everybody is in this huge rush to sell their house where we need to create a strategy where the home sells in 30 days or less. Even though for some reason, every single real estate agent out there thinks that, your goal is to sell your home as fast as possible, which is why they create these incentives. Hey, if I can't sell your home in 30 days, I'll sell it for free. Not everybody out there wants to sell their home in 30 days. Believe it or not, there's actually some strategy associated with how long your home stays on the market and what price you select in order to sell your home for the most money possible. Now, if I sell a house, here's our stat on our team. This is true. A third of our listings sell in a week or less. A third of our listings sell in 30 days or less, and a third of our listings sell in more than 30 days. Our average days on market is 19 days. So when I go and I talk to somebody about, beating my chest, so to speak, of, we're 19 days on market and our homes sell for 98.5% of asking price. I mean, those are great stats to share with people because they know that we're legit, we know what we're doing, and we produce great results. But it's all about your goal. Are we creating a marketing plan and entering the market in such a way that we are accomplishing your goal intentionally? Or am I a real estate agent that just has some sort of one-size-fits-all approach to selling real estate, and if it sells in a week or if it sells in 5 months, so be it, but I'm going to do the same thing every time? That's a great question to ask when you're interviewing a real estate agent. What is your plan for my home specifically? What are you going to do differently to market this specific home? And we have very specific ways of doing that. But here's how I want to answer this question, because I'm going to answer this and we're going to take a break. I want you to think about marketing as though, marketing for real estate, of course, as though you're creating a movie trailer, right? You're creating a movie trailer using the best parts of your house by making your house look as great as possible. And then it's not just about creating a really attractive movie trailer. We then have to distribute that trailer all across the world, right? The more that we can distribute it, the more eyes on the screen we have, the more people will come and see the movie. So for us, you have two basic schools of thought when it comes to marketing. You can either give them some of the information, enough to kind of whet their appetite, and then use that to create urgency and have them contact you. That's school of thought number one. Or school of thought number two is, hey, just give them all the information up front and let them make an informed decision. Let them determine whether they are interested or not. Don't trick them into coming to see the property. And so which school of thought are we? Which one do we choose? Well, we do both. There's a time and a place for people to have just enough information to want to contact somebody to fill in the gaps. And then there are times where I don't want to waste somebody's time on a showing or going through the motions if the house doesn't make sense for them. I don't want to trick people into coming to see the house, but I also want them to want to contact me so that I can play up my listing. And so when it comes to marketing, here's what I'll say. I could create all the marketing in the world when exposing a listing to the market. But if I don't have processes in place to control the flow of information from the general public to me, if I am not the toll booth that people have to go through to get information, then those buyers that are online and searching through Zillow that request information on a property that end up talking to Joe Schmo agent that knows nothing about my listing. Well, if I'm representing a seller, you should want me as your agent to be the person that's communicating with buyers that are interested in your house, right? That's not how these websites work. They're for-profit companies. Now, I have a special deal with Zillow as an example, where if somebody wants information on my property, they can only contact me. And that's because I'm kind of grandfathered in. I still have that feature on Zillow when they used to offer it. They don't offer that anymore. So more often than not, when you go online and you see a property you're interested in on Zillow as an example, and you say contact agent, you're talking to an agent that does not represent that seller. That's not the listing agent you're talking to. It's some random agent that's paying to receive phone calls from buyers in specific zip codes. So as a seller, that's a problem. Again, as a seller, if somebody is interested in my house, I want them talking to my agent because my agent knows the most about my property. And they have a fiduciary responsibility, by the way, to sell my listing. And so for us, when we take on listings, we help people understand how we have created all of this exposure, this spider web effect, if you will, in terms of distribution, and then how we capture all that interest, so that we can have informed conversations with interested buyers and then turn those buyers, or those online shoppers rather, into potential buyers for your house. That's how marketing should work at a high level. And then it's just a matter of where do you place your advertisements, and how do you capture the interest of the public both reactively and proactively. So that's I hope that answers your question. That's about as much as I can give from a setup standpoint as to what we do to market our properties for sale. And of course, if you want more specific information on how we sell real estate, how we are generating so much exposure for our properties and ultimately showings and offers and sales, then I welcome the call, and I'd love the opportunity to help you. My number is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273. Or you can go to my website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or, of course, send me an email. That's Brian, Brian, at listingsincharleston.com. That's Brian at listingsincharleston.com. Stick around for the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Find Brian Beatty online at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.